Hello everyone and welcome to this class on world history. We are currently talking about Industrial Revolution. But before Industrial Revolution, there were certain phases through which Europe was going through. Today we will be talking about the pre-industrial Europe, that is the existence of feudalism under pre-industrial Europe. So, this is the chapter or this is the subtopic we are going to study under Industrial Revolution. So, how was pre-industrial Europe? Right at the junction of Renaissance, there was growth of so much art and literature that Europe itself went into transformation. After Renaissance, we see the age of enlightenment, and these are very important phases through which Europe went, and it helped Europe gain the advancement and modernity that it has today. So, when we talk about pre-industrial Europe, it was basically a feudal society. So, what is a feudal society? A feudal society is a society where land is an essential asset. Land is an essential asset. It is owned by few who also controlled political power. So, whoever had the control over more and more land also had the control over politics. So, feudalism was a economic system. So, it was feudalism. From feudal, the word feudalism comes. And it was an economic system. So, feudal or feudalism comes from the word fief. It is a Latin word which means land that came with feudal service. Okay. So, fief meant land. Now, how was this land distributed among certain section of people? The king was obviously at the head of the society. He was seen as a person who had control over the land. But in reality, this land was not with the king. He had to distribute it among the nobles and the vassals. So, if you see the society structure, at the top we had king who had to distribute the land among vassals, vassal king, those who were basically subjugated king, but reinstated, they were seen as vassal and land was given to them, or vassal king could be someone related to the king. Then there were nobles and people of aristocratic family. Now, when the land was given to these nobles, vassal king, they in turn, because they got the control over land, they in turn pledged their loyalty to the king. In the time of crisis, these nobles and vassals were going to provide army to the king. In the time of crisis, they were also going to provide financial aid to the king. In most of the cases, these nobles had to pay regular tribute to the king. So, when we look at this noble, there are titles such as duke, earl, baron and knight. So, this is the chain of nobility who had to maintain loyalty towards king. But remember one thing, duke was going to be loyal towards the king, earl would be loyal to the duke, baron would be loyal to the earl, and knight will be loyal to the baron. So, it was a chain that followed in feudal system. Now, when land was given, land was called manor. In manor, the lord, the master of the land was called lord, and he was the privileged one. He was at control of the land. He had the right to levy tax on the people who lived in the land. Now, the land was cultivated by common people or villagers. The whole manor was basically a village, and the main primary activity of the manor was obviously agriculture. Now, these people who were part of the manor, they had to offer service to the lord. So, the villagers had to offer service to the lord, and that was free of cost. Why they were offering service to the lord? In lieu for protection that they received from the master of the manor called lord. And then there were laborers called serf. They were basically peasant, but they were bounded laborers. They were bounded to the land. So, a serf will serve the lord, and then his son will also serve the lord. This was the basic feudal society, and remember one thing, it was not based on money. Which is also known as capital. It was not based on money or capital, it was basically based on one thing, that was land. Whoever had the control over land had the control over power. Now, with the manor, there was another thing called church. Church played a very important role in medieval society. In fact, the power of the king was also controlled by church and the nobles. So, king was himself not very powerful, and church also had certain rights and privileges. The church had the right to take service free of cost from the villagers, and it also charged villagers for religious performances and rituals. So, we will talk about these facts in coming class when we talk about Reformation, movements that actually changed the society and the religion of Europe. So, this is about pre-industrial Europe.